So here's my thing. You say first ballot Hall of Famer. Walk me through, like, okay, what are his credentials to be first ballot?
Okay, let me tell you. Let me say this. First ballot is based off of opinion. So he's my first ballot specifically because he's Derrick Rose. Like he's more than just a basketball player.
Okay, but so I got where you trying to. So basically, it's because he is one of your, like, hey, that was your go-to guy at one point in time, like the Derrick Rose. But
the Derrick Rose is iconic. Like that's first ballot for me.
Bro.
For the NBA, because it's easier to get into.
I agree with that.
Than any sport.
Yeah, definitely easier than football. I would say easier than NHL or baseball as well. Like I agree, like with that part anyway. But well, listen, okay, so likability, yeah, it plays a factor. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big factor.
In basketball, yeah. I'm telling you, in basketball, yeah, because Tracy McGrady was first ballot, was he not?
Yeah.
Okay, and don't get me wrong, like.
Well, I don't know. Is T-Mac first ballot? I know he got in, but
he may have missed 1 or 2 years, bro. But if we being realistic, like he made it pretty early.
He gotta be first ballot.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, okay, so listen to what y'all saying. Y'all be like, oh, you gotta be first ballot. You didn't say he was going to the Hall of Fame. You said he's first ballot. Likability, yes, it aids your argument, but I'm sorry, you got what 3 All-Star games in his career?
Right.
1 All-NBA team in his career.
Right. First NBA.
No, that's what. But he.
Oh, was he first team?
He had to have been if he was MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to have been. So and then the MVP. If we're being realistic, the only argument he has is his MVP award.
But that's the thing. That gets him in the door. He's automatically at the door, like with that. I
don't disagree, but my thing is, you can stand at that door all day long. That doesn't mean you coming in.
But I'm gonna tell you why he's in, like what pushes him in. Yeah, he was the youngest MVP, but also he was a #1 pick that lived up to expectations. Derrick Rose, stay with me. Derrick Rose, if we keeping it real, is a generational talent. Just think about that. Ask that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, because that's tough, bro. Like that's not a definitive statement because you really look at what he was able to do. It was his explosiveness.
But it's not even just that. It was at the point guard position. He was the start of the. Was he the start of the whole switch between big man to little guy running the team now? Like the Stephs and the Dames. And
I'll tell you this. Let's go back a step further. He was actually that #2 coming in because Steve Nash was the start of that. Steve Nash was #1 seed with the Suns 2 years straight, 2 back-to-back MVPs.
No, but Steve Nash never averaged 25. And that's what I mean.
But Derrick Rose never won back-to-back MVP. But I get what you're saying, like as far as scoring. But we legitimately went from the center position to all the way down to point guard with, I would say Steve Nash. Because there was, Kobe was a guard, Allen Iverson was a guard. So there was those guards, but all the way down to the smallest man on the court position, I would say Steve Nash and then Derrick Rose. Now, Derrick Rose did it from a pure offensive perspective. Steve Nash did it from, kind of all the, assist and offensive, you know what I'm saying? But I would say that. So let's say that he kicked that off. Let's say he jump started the point guard being your go-to scorer. How has that worked out?
What you mean? That's just that's the generational talent portion of it. Like
I can't take that away from him.
Okay, so he got the youngest MVP. He lived up. That's the part of living up to expectations. Like he's a #1 pick, and that's why I was talking about the bust thing earlier. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of #1 picks that are not bust, but you don't remember who they are.
That's a fact.
Derrick Rose is forever, and that alone
for us, yes, he'll be forever.
What you mean for us?
So if somebody, for our generation, for us, he'll be forever. But bro, let's be real. So you telling me somebody 17, 18 years old, and again, I could go younger, but let's rationalize. 17, 18 years old. They're going to, oh yeah, Derrick Rose is that. Nah, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why they are.
Because they were a certain age. They was 8 years old when he won his MVP.
No.
Actually 7.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. This is what make him iconic. Because people like me or people like LeBron fans, if one of these young people be like, oh, Derrick Rose is trash, there's gonna be people like me that's gonna give you all these accolades and educate this young man that's still talking about Derrick Rose. He ain't talking about Steve Francis. he ain't talking about.
So let me ask you this. Now, there's
That's what I'm
nobody.
about.
I give you this. And there's nobody I can bring up because I was about to say Ron Harper, but he never won an MVP. You know what I'm saying? So he was never the pinnacle player in the NBA to potentially lead, like you say, at the point guard position, his team to the finals. So there's nobody I can give you to be like, oh nah, that's wrong. I do disagree with it, but I can't prove that wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about 11,000 points, not in the top 250.
I got you.
We talking about 3,000, I think rebounds or something like that. Not in the top 250. And then assists, if I'm not mistaken, he edged like he was tied for 174 with Steve Blake.
But you got to understand when the downfall started. it was Derrick Rose straight out of.
So you can make a Hall of Fame off your first 4 seasons.
It's not even just about numbers wise, no. But if it's somebody like Derrick Rose, like he came in the league balling. Like I think he was averaging almost 20 his rookie season, then 20, then 25.
Yeah.
Not many rookies doing that, bro. And
that's a fact.
Now it look even
especially
crazier.
At that position. I would like emphasize that. Like
now you got people like Luka that's doing better than that.
26-7-7 first season, 27-7-7 first season.
Like that's that. I don't even remember what I was about to say. But
my bad. But again, we're talking about a 6-7.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
European.
His 3 years, his 3 prime years, he won an MVP, like playoff suit.
He was injured during those playoff runs. If he had conference finals, you know what I'm saying, like 3 years consecutive or at least 2 years consecutive, something like that. Again, I think that would attest to what you're saying. But 3 years,
You got a gold medal.
Facts.
What Hall of Famer?
Here's the thing too, though.
He checks all the boxes.
College goes into your Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, he did 1 year in Memphis though.
I'm saying, but that no matter if you did 1 year, like as long as you were perennial,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It helps your argument. I say he's going, but I don't believe he's first ballot. It's really going to depend on who I retire with him that year.
It don't matter who retired. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Like Derrick Rose's name alone is generational. Like Derrick Rose will forever be remembered.
You saying it don't matter who retired with him that year?
If LeBron, you mean like if other like people like LeBron retired, obviously.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
But you got a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. He wouldn't be first ballot in that case.
But here's the thing though, like. Just what you said, that MVP gets him to the door.
Yeah.
But again, you don't walk in until you accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is upper epsilon of a sport.
Right.
Which again, likability and MVP, like every little thing, helps you edge a little closer. But again, like, no, hold on, wait. You're gonna come in, but just give us a little more time type deal. You ever been to a club before and they like, oh yeah, we letting people in a little bit at a time. And you're thinking to yourself, like, how you gonna let Buddy just you pointed to him, told him to come past me. I've been in line right here, well before him. So that's what I'm saying. Like it just, I don't think he's done enough statistically.
Got a 50-point game.
Listen, I don't care. I don't think he's done enough statistically to be in the Hall of Fame. His MVP is the only thing that's gonna get him there.
Nah, bro. Nah, even a 50-point game, bro.
Because okay, so let's do it like this. And again, the whole argument is the MVP. If he did not have the MVP, is this even a conversation?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not just his stats alone will not.
But hold on, let me ask you this: if he didn't get the MVP, but he still had the same performance that year, but they just gave like how they did Steve Nash and Shaq,
or Steve Nash and Kobe.
He was so cold.
Dirk and Kobe.
He was so cold that MVP year. It was recognizable. He was like the first 25, 7 and 7, something like that.
I was 25. Actually, now you said it, 25.
It was like 25 and 7 for sure.
I know, but I was trying to
7 and 6.
I was trying to get that last one, but it was somewhere close to 25, 7 and 7.
And that's somebody that's like, you know how we look at Luka doing that now. That was Derrick. The admiration was Derrick Rose right there. That was
12 years ago. Listen, bro. Like,
and the playoff battles. I mean, the playoff battle of Rondo alone, like,
and like I say, if for Derrick Rose, it is the MVP season. That's it.
That's it. Just like T-Mac got the.
That's fair.
Point. That's iconic.
That's why I say I got him going. here's the thing though too. I'm saying he's going because there's no way in hell that they look back and they say we voted this guy the youngest MVP in NBA history,
and not only that,
and he don't make the Hall of Fame. That would look bad on them.
They don't care about that, bro. They do not care about that.
Understand
football?
something?
They just like football.
They don't want to kill the prestige of the MVP. Look at how they market it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I got you.
Like that's what I'm saying. They don't want to kill that prestige of the MVP. Like, they never want to get this wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, okay, well, we went 4 or 5 years in, even if he didn't make first ballot, we went 4 or 5 years in, and he didn't make the Hall of Fame. What are you saying about this award? And again, it was just for that one season.
I'm not a fan.
No, I got you. In the defense, it was just for that one season. In that one season, he was the MVP. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can't give that award out to somebody unless they pass away the next season or the 2 seasons after, and then you never hear from that person again. Because if we're being honest, he had, like you said, a 50-point game with 2 different teams, if I'm not mistaken.
But the latest one was the latest one. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't supposed to have it.
Nah, I know like not supposed to have. But outside of that, the biggest time, we heard his name. The biggest moments after his MVP was the 50-point games, but in between the two was knee injuries.
But that part of that is because it's the what if. What if he didn't?
That's a
because
fact.
he was getting better and better. Like,
That's
he
a
didn't have a
fact.
jump shot the first 2 or 3 years. Even the
That's a
MVP
fact.
season, you got to see where he developed a jump shot, but he was never set in stone like he is now.
I
Like,
agree.
he's shooting almost 40%, if not 40% from the 3-point line now. So just imagine if he had the athleticism still.
And
He'd be way better than
Yeah.
Westbrook. I don't care what
nah,
nobody
wait,
say.
look, no, we not doing that. Now,
Like-
we ain't doing that. I'm sorry. And then he'd be older too. Like, nah, we ain't.
Nah, bro.
We not doing
Westbrook,
that.
you already know. You already know,
Mr.
bro.
Triple Dub. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not doing that, bro. We not. I'll say this though. I was never a Derrick Rose fan, but I always respected, like, again, bro, just what you saying. You at the point guard position, averaging 25 on the best defensive team in the league at that time. You know, Carlos Boozer. What was not
And the East wasn't as weak.
Joakim Noah. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
East wasn't as weak as it is now.
he got
Well,
Joakim Noah to look good.
That's my boy.
Joakim Noah like slumped after he lost Rose.
That's
Like,
my boy,
he got
bro.
Joakim Noah to look good.
He made
Luol
you
Deng.
forget. He made you forget about Aaron Gordon. Eric Gordon. I said Aaron Gordon. Eric Gordon.
I won't call names. I don't call names. I'm bound to mess up. I promise you. And sober. You got anything you want to add?
Nah.
Okay.
Give my boy his respect. I don't care if you're not a real fan. I just give my boy respect.
I respect the MVP. Everything
Nah.
else. Everything else.
See.
Everything else. Man, I'll do you one better. Before we close out, let's do it like this. That MVP for Derek Fisher's 5 rings. If we're being completely honest, Derek Fisher played a healthy 15+ year career. At most
but-
as a starter.
But because he had who was on his
Yeah,
team.
that's a fact. But I'm just saying, but I'm saying interchange. If you take away 3 of those rings, I don't believe Derek Fisher is going to the Hall of Fame. If you just give him two rings and then the
I don't
years that
think
he
need to
played.
go to Hall of Fame.
Now,
Derek Fisher?
listen. You got 5 rings as a starter. You're not finna do that.
No.
You're not, bro.
He wasn't the only one starting on that team. Rick Fox.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
He said 5.
He got 5 as a starter.
Right.
So Robert Horry, Rick Fox, they get the early honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? Late Paul Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Odom, Artez.
Derek Fisher going to Hall of Fame.
You have 5 rings as a wait. You have
They're
5
not his
rings.
rings.
Listen to me. You have 5 rings as a starter, and 15 years as a starter.
That's the Lakers ring. That's not Derek. Derek. It's wrong, Derek.
But all I know is 2 Derricks going to the Hall of Fame. Whether you Fisher or Rose, the 2 Derricks going to the Hall of Fame.
Man, you gotta get me back on this show for that, bro.
Well, listen, when it's coming up, matter of fact,
Derek Fisher.
yeah, it's,
bro.
his eligibility for the what's called is coming up. So
I wonder who
if it's not already, actually, I don't know when his last year was because did he finish with the Thunder? Because I know he went to the Mavericks for a little bit. Then
Nah,
went
he
to
ain't
the
been
Thunder.
out long enough.
Okay, all right, well, he was a coach, so, but I'm just saying, like, we gonna see, though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Point Away Debates. Josh, just got one question. I see, boy, it's been too long since you've been here. Are you drunk yet?